Welcome back to the channel. After much anticipation, we finally have the official product images of the Super7 Godzilla Ultimates figures, starting with Godzilla vs. Biollante. Now, these two are currently up for pre-order at the time of this recording. They're 8 inches tall, $85 each, or you can get them in a set together for $170. They're going to release at the end of this year, around winter 2022 or fourth quarter. I'm going to talk about both figures in detail, starting first with Godzilla and then Biollante herself. But I do want to say that I'm so excited that Super7 decided to make a rose form of Biollante. That's something that I've wanted for a long time, and she's kind of hard to get for a good price at a good size, so I think that this is an amazing announcement. But first, looking at Godzilla, we have 2 head sculpts, 7 hands, and a vine accessory for his neck. But one thing you'll notice is there's no beam accessory. I'm surprised they didn't include one for him. I think that's going to be kind of a downside for a lot of people, because I feel that if you're getting an articulated Godzilla, you really should have a beam accessory. I think it's a given. But I think where the figure lacks in that, you still have an amazing sculpt. Let's take a closer look at these heads now. Particularly that closed mouth head sculpt looks exceptional. I think they really nailed that grimace and that furrowed brow that's so prominent in this design of Godzilla. Here I have an altered image that I increased the exposure on and the contrast so we can have a better look at this sculpt, because I feel like the lighting on the actual official picture is a little flat. So you can see a lot of the detail all over it. So it does look very good, that's for sure. So if you're a NECA collector or an SH Monster Arts collector, you know off the bat that these are not in scale with those figures. So that might be a downside for you, but what I think is the selling point for this is the size of it. He will be articulated, but probably not as articulated as a Monster Arts figure. But I think you're getting a good sculpt and a good size figure for the price. Here's another official image. This one looks really cool. Also shows off the sculpt pretty well. I can't wait to do toy photography with these. I think they'll look great. So he's about 14 inches long, so a pretty long figure. I don't know about the tail posability, if it'll be similar to like a NECA or a Monster Arts, or, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah, he looks good. He looks very good. I think in particular we have such a high representation of this character that in particular this figure works better for me as a set with Biollante, because for me, I love the Heisei Godzilla, but I don't need so many figures of him. So I think it makes more sense, at least for me, to get him together with Biollante to create a cool dynamic set, because I think they do look exceptional together. So now we're going to take a closer look at Biollante herself. Here's the promo of them again together, but let's take a look at her now. So Biollante, she looks really good. I think this is their official picture. I think the detail on her looks much better in this lighting than the Godzilla. She has an alternate head sculpt and 2 additional like exploded vine head things. Here's the promo image. Looks so cool. Wow. Yeah, they nailed this figure. She looks exceptional. I think in particular, her as a kaiju in this form, she's so like mystical, like strangely beautiful, but also kind of scary. I love that the green and that bright red. It looks really good. I cannot wait to get my hands on this figure in particular. I've never had a Biollante figure at all, and I've wanted a rose form for the longest. And I think that they really are delivering with this version of her. Whether or not you choose to get these individually, either her or just Godzilla himself, I think either one is really good, but she's the standout. I'm probably going to get both. Definitely Biollante for sure. I think when I have her in hand, I will want the Godzilla to go with it. So I think for me, in that respect, it's worth getting the Godzilla too. Here we have some pictures from Super7 themselves on their YouTube channel. Just for size comparison, I know the quality's not the best. I apologize. I screenshotted their video and zoomed in some of the images, but I wanted to give you guys a good idea of how big these will be. So Godzilla in particular, he's a pretty chunky figure. You can see there where this guy's hand is. You can get a good sense of the size of both of them. Biollante looks a little taller. I can't tell from the shot here, but overall, I think this is a very good set. Each figure is very good. You could choose to get them individually or not. But I am blown away by Biollante. Godzilla is good, but I just feel like I don't know why they wouldn't include a beam. I feel like that's kind of a necessity with any of these types of Godzilla figures. And in a set in particular, it just feels like it's missing that piece. But overall, I think that they're both very good figures. Biollante is a standout piece. I think this is something that a lot of people weren't expecting in terms of choosing her rose form. I would not have thought that at all. If they had announced that they were going to do this wave before showing pictures of Biollante and him, I would have just pictured regular Biollante in her final form. But I'm glad that they went with the rose one. It's something that, you know, it's hard to get your hands on from a company. It's been made, but if you want a nice, realistic one at a good size, they're expensive, very expensive. All right, so my final thoughts on these figures. Overall, I think they're really good. I don't want to sound like I'm ragging on the fact that there's no beam effect for the Heisei Godzilla. Don't get me wrong, sure, it's not there, but the figure itself, I think, is really good. It's a nice, bulky, chunky looking Heisei Godzilla action figure. Definitely not as articulated as like a Monster Arts, but it will definitely be very dynamic looking. I think it'll make for some great toy photography. I can't wait to do that. So I think for sure I'm probably going to wind up getting both of them, probably just as the set. And once I have them, of course, I'll do a review. This will be toward the end of the year, of course, but I'll do a review, size comparisons. So yeah, but more importantly, what do you guys think about this? Comment down below if you're going to get one or both, or if you don't like them, if you want to see more waves from Super 7 on these. Be sure to subscribe, check out my other videos that I have on the channel, mostly Godzilla figure content, and check out my Instagram at Total Approximation. I have nothing but Godzilla toy photography all across that Instagram. I have a lot of fun with that, so definitely, check it out. And thanks for watching. Have a good one.